there's actually too much focus being put on how tight these games are that they're winning, and not just the fact that they're winning them?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I do, Chris Jones is saying there, I do agree with everything he's saying. Hey, they can win tight games. You believe in it. There's a moment on that sideline, I promise you, where they say, hey, we've been here a million times.
Yeah.
We'll find a way to get this done. I will say, too, that the way some of these tight games are happening, I do think are very, very correctable. I mean, here they're rushing 3. They still end up getting a sack. These are a lot of self-inflicted things here. You're getting ran over at offensive line. Like, it's a strange ordeal where it just seems like, hey, we can clean all of these things up. Even DeAndre Hopkins, it seems like they're on a different page at times because he's new. And then, of course, the penalties are very strange. Very easily correctable when it's like, hey, we did not need to get a 15-yard penalty when it's a tight game for the division like that.
Yeah.
Couple holds. They always flirt with the false starts because they're jumping the count. So I sit here and say, hey, in one hand, I think they can correct it. On the other hand, it now is becoming a theme week after week. And I do think that they're a lot more vulnerable from their self-inflicted mistakes. But
interesting.
I agree. I do think that we kind of make a lot of it. Like, hey, it's tight games. It's tight games. Well, when you've won 15 tight games in a row, that counts for something.
Do you like Seattle's chance? Every week I feel like I ask you about Seattle, and you've always been skeptical. Are you starting to be a believer?
It's starting to move the needle for me, but to me, I'm going to still need to see a little more. I think that the Cardinals are a fraudulent team. I think they're fraudulent at 6 and 7. They're the worst team in that division. And you look at Seattle, I will say they've been doing a lot of better things on defense, getting some turnovers, stopping teams. And the next thing that happened today, we talked about earlier, was the run game. They have not had a run game all year, and Charbonnet came out here behind this offensive line and really had a phenomenal day running the ball. And that's the type of game that Mike Macdonald wants to have. He wants to have a game where you can run the football, then we're going to throw over the top, take the shots with Geno, JSN, DK, and we're going to find ways to get turnovers. But the key is this run game. It starts with that. And if they don't have it, the Seahawks offensive line is not strong enough to protect 40 pass attempts a game.
Right.
So that's where it gets jammed up. But here's where it gets kind of wild.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Jay, look at this. To me, Seattle's got Green Bay, which is going to be a very, very tough time winning, and Minnesota, which is also going to be a very, very tough time winning. So the reality is, Seahawk fans, you control your own destiny, but there's a very good chance it's coming down to Week 18. And it's not going to be a wild card spot either. It's either going to be you beat the Rams Week 18 and you're in the playoffs, you don't beat the Rams and you're going home.
You brought up something, someone who's been following the Seahawks my whole life, though. When you went from Pete Carroll to Mike Macdonald, instantly there was that chance of that culture change, or that change for the team not being as consistent as they were when you played for them and when they won the Super Bowl, and maybe it could fall off a cliff. And Mike Macdonald's kind of proving he's going to keep it on course here.
Totally.
Somewhat, right?
And to be honest, there was a time where I thought across the board it was very sloppy defense. Offensively, it was an abomination. So I think it's a testament to Mike Macdonald on what he's been able to do these last few weeks. Winning division games, granted, it's not the best division. We're not the best team.
Yeah.
And they've handled business, and the guys are believing to come out and beat Arizona in Arizona today. I thought was a statement win for them.